Yes. And you will get probably a little sign that says this is being recorded or something. But normally right now it's being recorded. So yeah, let's start with this. So welcome. We were talking a little bit before, but welcome. This is the little talk just to introduce to you a little bit what we are, what we do at UMD in SACNAS, and what this is about, what we do and who we are in SACNAS at UMD. Before starting, I wanted to just introduce myself because I'm going to be talking to you, and we were talking before, and so I want to make sure that you know who you're talking to. My name is Anaí Espíndola. I'm a faculty at the University of Maryland. I am an assistant professor in entomology. And for those of you who don't know what entomology is the study of insects. So I'm a biologist that happens to work with insects. I'm also one of the faculty co-advisors for UMD SACNAS. And in my research, in my job, I do research, teaching, and extension. And my research, and well, all the aspects of my work are focused on plant-pollinator interactions, on their ecology and their evolution. I am from Argentina. And I got here, I got to UMD about 3 years ago. I was living in Idaho before. So yeah, but I'm originally from Argentina. Yes. So what is SACNAS? And you guys may be aware of what SACNAS is, but maybe you're not. And so I wanted to just take a little second to go through what SACNAS is. So SACNAS, you may know that is a national organization that is really focusing on fostering the success of Chicanos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And this is kind of the main goal of SACNAS. And the idea of SACNAS is to help this by allowing people to advance their careers in STEM so that they can eventually reach leadership positions in STEM. Something that I think that it's really important to understand about SACNAS is that, and some statistics of what SACNAS is nationally is that today, and this is as of the last report of SACNAS, there's over 8,200 active members in the US. There's 118 chapters. There's about half of the SACNAS membership is students, and half is professionals. So this could be faculty, postdocs, staff, or people that are working in the industry or non-academic context. And a very large proportion of the membership is actually first generation college members. And I myself, I'm a first generation college member. So this is kind of what SACNAS is in general, but I think that there are some things that I think it's really important to understand about SACNAS. And one of them is that SACNAS is an inclusive organization. And that means that everybody is able to get involved in SACNAS. So one does not have to be a Chicano or Hispanic or a Native American to participate in SACNAS. And so this means that SACNAS is not just for Hispanics, Chicanos, and Native Americans. Everybody can participate in SACNAS. Something else is that we tend to think about SACNAS as an organization that is targeted towards students, college students, but actually SACNAS is not just for students. SACNAS is for students. It supports the development of students, but it's really also supporting the development of other types of members of the STEM field. And so SACNAS supports undergraduate, graduate students, but also postdocs, faculty, and other types of professionals in the STEM area. And so when I wanted to kind of go through this because I feel that many times we think about SACNAS as this like student organization, but actually it's way more than that. And it's actually an organization that allows everybody, all this group of Chicanos, Hispanics, and Native Americans to advance in science across their whole career. And this means that one can be on the receiving end of this organization and being helped advance our own career at certain times, but one can also participate as helping others also succeed at different times of our careers. So now moving into more locally, who is SACNAS at UMD? SACNAS at UMD has the same mission than the national SACNAS organization. Right now, there are about 35 members of the UMD chapter. These are people that participate in different ways into the activities organized by the SACNAS chapter. We have actually a membership that really covers many different colleges across campus, and also covers many different levels of career levels on campus. So there are undergraduate students, graduate students, postdocs, but also faculty and staff that are somehow involved in this in the UMD chapter for SACNAS. What we do at UMD SACNAS kind of covers different types of activities. On the one hand, we do a number of social events. And so these are events that are geared towards creating community and connecting people with each other. And, especially before COVID, because after COVID, things got a little more complicated and, people are completely zoomed out. But, especially before, we would get these get-togethers and try, just learn who the other people are, get to know each other, do some sort of activities to kind of identify shared values and, kind of align our perceptions so that we can create a unity in the chapter, and also have fun, just do things that are fun, like play loteria. And so there's all this aspect of SACNAS that is really targeting creating community, bringing people together that may share certain aspects of their identities. And so is one of the things that we do as SACNAS at UMD. However, there is a whole other aspect of SACNAS that we also work on. And this is the whole aspect of professional development, because we can't help advance people in STEM if we're just getting together and hanging out, even though that's a great thing to do, right? And so we do have a number of professional development activities. For example, last year when the pandemic started, we hosted some career panels. And so these were panels with different people that had different career paths, and that were sharing their experiences of how they got through those paths and how they got where they are today. We also have different other types of activities, so series of seminars. Last year, some of the students that were in the leadership were organizing writing sessions. So these were sessions where people could join a Zoom room and just work on writing. This is a very important part of career development, being able to write down things, write those publications, write your PhD, your thesis, or your master's thesis, or your paper that you're working on. And so having that space where we can all come together and just like focus at that time and focus on writing. So we've been hosting some of those. And we've also had a number of workshops on, what are different grants and fellowships that can be applied for by members of our group. Something else that is really interesting and that I think at SACNAS at UMD is in a really good position to offer is the ability to connect the community to many different opportunities that are in the DC area. Being in DC, we are very close. In the DC area, we're very close to the nation capital, which means that most or all of these organizations that are national, that these federal organizations have offices or centers that are based right here. So we're physically very close to many of these organizations. And so their NIH is 20 minutes away from here. USDA is down the road from where we are, from the campus. NASA, it's also right down the road. Marco knows about that. EPA is also very close to here. The National Park Service has their center here, and there's several national parks that are in the DC area. And so it's very easy to establish connections with them. There's also all the state agencies that are very close to College Park, and College Park has a lot of connections with these agencies. And so, as a group in SACNAS here at UMD, we do have the opportunity to connect our members with many different organizations that maybe faculty or other students or postdocs are already have connections with. And so this is a huge asset that we have by the fact that we're very close to the DC area. There's also, and I forgot to say this, there's also a number of universities that are based in the DC area. And these universities also have, have programs that are shared with UMD. And there's a lot of interactions with these different universities, and so one can, being here and also being a member of SACNAS, allows you to kind of get in touch with these different types of organizations that are available here. And so this is a really important aspect of the professional development that we can contribute to from where we are here in the DC area. Something else that we try to do is to promote networking and presence at different meetings. And so in the past, we've participated in regional meetings. This is when things were in person in 2019. In 2020, there was the first virtual national meeting that happened. And so we could send a number of people from SACNAS participate there and also represent us at certain booths that we were hosting. Let me just admit one person. And right now we're preparing to have people participate in the upcoming national meeting that is at the beginning of end of October. And so these are things that are, we participate regularly, and we try to both have people present at these meetings, but also have a representation so that we can tell other people about our presence and kind of share our experiences being here at UMD. Oops, let me look. I can do this. There you go. So what is coming up in terms of events that we're holding? We, as I was saying, oh, look at that, SACNAS 2021, that got all shifted. Well, we are preparing right now, as I was saying before, to participating in the national meeting that is going to be at the end of October. And we actually have funding available to send students to attend and present. And so if you are already a member of UMD, there were some people that registered that were already members. We're looking for students who would like to present and participate in the national meeting. So if you're interested, let us know. If you're at UMD, this is just restricted at this point to UMD students. That's one of the events that are coming up. We are also going to be hosting 2 workshops coming up in October and November, and this is a little bit in preparation to the national meeting, but also other meetings that are happening in other in specialized fields that happen kind of at the end of the year. And so one of these workshops is going to be a 1.5-hour workshop on working on networking and attending conferences and learning how to prepare for that. In particular, how to prepare for to attending conferences that are online, which is a little different than what you would do if you attend a conference and you're in person. And also working on this thing that is called the elevator pitch, that we tend to not work enough on, but it's a really important part of networking and introducing ourselves to other people that are working in our same fields. This is going to be on October 12th. We're also going to be holding another workshop on how to work on CVs, preparing CVs in preparation for conferences, but also applying for jobs or applying to grad school. And that is going to be on November 10th. And this is also a 1.5 hour workshop that we'll be holding. And so this will be open to all SACNAS members. And so if you're interested, stay in the loop and you'll be able to participate. And even, if you're not at UMD right now, you can let me know, and I can send you the link to register. We are, this is going to be a virtual these are going to be 2 virtual workshops. So, you can join, just register, send us send me an email, and I'll send you the links to register. And finally, we're also planning on organizing a get together at some point in November. We still need to organize the specific dates, but we're planning on, now that at least at UMD, we're trying to, we're starting to come back to person. So all classes are in person right now. So there's more people that are on campus. So we're thinking about getting a little get together with some lunch or some small social event outdoors before it gets too cold. And so we can keep the safety at the highest, but still get to meet each other in person, because that's really important now that we're all on campus. So this is for the events that are coming up. Something else that I was talking to some of you while we were waiting is, there are other events that are not directly related to SACNAS, but I think that are really important to advance our careers, right? And so this week, there's going to be a ton of different sessions happening during the virtual grad school fair, and you should try to attend. I put some here, I did some print screens of some sessions that I thought were useful. But if you go to that link, or if you just search UMD Virtual Grad Fair, you're going to get that link. You can see the different sessions are all free. You can sign up the same way you signed up for this session. And they are happening across the week. But there's many different types of sessions. They have been organized in a very logical way. So it's really easy to find sessions that may be useful to you on that website. I just printed here some that I thought could be special and kind of or useful, and that may apply to many of you. But if you're looking at specific programs, at specific areas of research or study, they are organized by college, by field, and so you can find the ones that may be the most appropriate for you. And so go, don't hesitate to go and check all those out and sign up. And finally, as I was saying all the time, get in touch. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email is there. You can also email the SACNAS email. This is the central SACNAS email for UMD. And so if you email there, I'm going to get that email. It's pretty easy to remember. It's sacnas@umd.edu. So it's very straightforward. But you can also email me directly. You can also email the other faculty co-advisor, who is not here now because he had some family issues. Well, not issues, family responsibilities. And so he couldn't come. But Efrain, he is also one of the faculty co-advisors. He is in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. So if you're interested in areas like that, you can also reach out to him to ask for specifics. So feel free to email either us directly or the SACNAS email, and we're going to receive the message. But you should also follow us on Twitter. We have the Twitter account that is there. We have a website. So all our contacts are there as well. And you can learn a little bit more about us and what we do and stuff like that. So, follow us. We try to keep these platforms updated, and we want to keep them active. So, feel free to reach out if you have any questions on that. And so this is kind of what I had for our, the little introduction. Wow, it's 11:25. This was really long. So what I was thinking initially is that we could, we could discuss, if you had any questions, you can ask them now, or otherwise we can discuss a little bit and introduce ourselves and kind of share what our experiences are and stuff like that. So are there any questions? Do you have any questions about, SACNAS, how it works and stuff? Yeah, Marco.
And I'll make this quick. I'm sorry. So I guess at my local institution, we actually don't have a SACNAS chapter, but I've been able to kind of hear about